Welcome back to the channel, where we explore the delicate dance of human connection, one thoughtful conversation at a time. Today, we are diving into a question many have asked, but few feel confident answering. How do you flirt without being creepy? In the next several minutes, we will break this down into clear, practical strategies that make flirting feel less like a gamble and more like a natural part of communication. Here is the truth: flirting should be fun, respectful, and mutual. But let us be honest, in today's world, the line between showing interest and making someone uncomfortable can feel blurry. So, how do we make sure our intentions are not only understood, but welcome? Think about that. Flirting is not about delivering a perfect pickup line or memorizing some script. It is about energy. It is about presence. And most importantly, it is about timing and mutual comfort. The moment you start thinking of flirting as manipulation or performance, it stops being authentic. Let us pause and consider. Why does flirting sometimes come across as creepy? Often, it is not about what you say, but how and when you say it. Creepy flirting usually lacks awareness of the other person's emotional cues. It feels one-sided, pushy, or even aggressive. Let us take a closer look. One major red flag in flirting is ignoring boundaries. That could mean pressing for personal details too soon, making overly sexual comments before trust is built, or simply failing to notice when someone is not reciprocating your interest. These are not signs of boldness. They are signs of poor awareness. Before we continue, remember this: a great flirt is a great listener. When you really pay attention to someone's tone, body language, and response patterns, you can gauge what is working and what is not. If they lean in, laugh, ask questions, or mirror your energy, those are green lights. If they withdraw, give short answers, or seem distracted, it is probably time to ease up. Let us take a closer look. There is a difference between confidence and entitlement. Confidence says, "I believe I am worth your time, and I am excited to get to know you." Entitlement says, "You owe me attention or affection because I am showing interest." One attracts, the other repels. Think about that. Flirting that feels good is playful, light, and respectful. It invites the other person to engage rather than pressuring them. It is like offering a dance. You extend a hand. If they take it, great. If not, you do not yank them onto the floor. Let us pause and consider. Sometimes people get stuck thinking they need to be interesting or funny to flirt. But in reality, being genuinely curious about the other person is far more impactful. Asking thoughtful, open-ended questions and showing sincere interest can create a natural connection. Let us take a closer look. Example: instead of complimenting someone's appearance right away, which can feel superficial or forward, notice something about their energy, the way they speak, or the perspective they bring. Say something like, "I really like how you explain that. You seem very thoughtful." That feels sincere. That builds trust. Before we continue, remember this: eye contact, when appropriate, is one of the most powerful nonverbal flirting tools, but it should feel mutual, not forced. Think of it as a soft focus, not a stare down. A slight smile while maintaining eye contact for just a moment can say a lot. Let us pause and consider. The setting matters. What is appropriate in a loud bar may feel invasive in a quiet coffee shop. Read the room. Read the energy. Adjust accordingly. Let us take a closer look. Tone of voice is another subtle yet powerful element. Speaking in a calm, warm, and grounded tone conveys confidence without aggression. A sudden change in pitch, volume, or pacing can shift the entire energy of the interaction. Think about that. People often confuse flirting with performance, but authentic flirting is more about connection than performance. You are not trying to impress someone into liking you. You are inviting them to be curious about who you really are. Let us pause and consider. The golden rule of non-creepy flirting is this: respect the other person's autonomy. That means paying attention not just to your own intentions, but to their reactions, verbal and nonverbal. It means recognizing when to engage more and when to back off. Let us take a closer look. Physical touch, for example, is a high-stakes form of flirting. Even light touches on the arm can be interpreted in many different ways depending on context, timing, and relationship. When in doubt, do not initiate touch. If the connection deepens and there are mutual signals, only then should you consider it. Before we continue, remember this: flirting is not about trying to win someone over. It is about revealing a side of yourself that is open, curious, and respectful. It is not a game. It is a form of communication. Think about that. As we continue this conversation, we will explore practical examples, mistakes to avoid, and how to build confidence that comes from authenticity, not tactics. Because when it comes to flirting, well, it all starts with self-awareness. Let us pause here, and in the next section, we will look at how to use body language and conversation starters to create natural, respectful attraction. Now that we have laid the foundation of what respectful, authentic flirting looks like, it is time to explore the tools that bring it to life. Let us start with one of the most important and often misunderstood aspects: body language. Body language speaks louder than words, especially in flirting. A relaxed posture, a genuine smile, and an open stance signal that you are approachable and at ease. When your body says you are comfortable, the person you are talking to feels more comfortable too. Let us take a closer look. One powerful cue is mirroring. This happens naturally when people are in sync. If the person you are speaking with leans forward, you can lean in slightly. If they cross their legs, and you do too, moments later, it signals rapport. Just be subtle. Mirroring is about shared rhythm, not mimicry. Think about that. Facial expressions matter. A soft smile can ease tension and make your presence feel warmer. Raised eyebrows, slight head tilts, and nods show engagement. But again, the key is subtlety. Overdoing any of these can come off as insincere or performative. Before we continue, remember this. Flirting is not a checklist. You are not scoring points by ticking boxes like eye contact, smile, and ask a question. It is an experience of shared attention. You are offering your presence, not presenting a routine. Let us pause and consider. Now, let us talk about space. Respecting personal space is crucial. Standing too close too soon is one of the quickest ways to make someone feel uncomfortable. A good rule of thumb: observe how far they stand from others and match that distance initially. If they move closer over time, that is your invitation to reduce space. Let us take a closer look. Next comes conversation. A strong opener can set the tone, but strong does not mean flashy. It means relevant and genuine. Instead of a rehearsed line, notice something in the moment. For example, "That book looks interesting. Have you read others by that author?" Or, "I noticed you laughing earlier. What was the joke?" Think about that. Good flirting flows from natural curiosity. If you ask questions because you genuinely want to know the answer, it shows. And when someone feels seen and heard, they are more likely to stay engaged. Let us pause and consider. Avoid complimenting appearance as your first comment. Physical compliments can work later, once comfort is established. Lead with something that reflects your attention to who they are, not just how they look. Let us take a closer look. One effective tool is the use of humor. But be mindful, humor should never come at someone else's expense. Self-deprecating humor or observational jokes about shared experiences are safer and often more endearing. Before we continue, remember this. Pay attention to pacing. Give the conversation room to breathe. If you ask a question, pause. Let the other person answer fully. Do not jump to fill every silence. Sometimes the space between words is where attraction builds. Think about that. When you respond, do so with warmth, a kind laugh, a thoughtful comment. These are small signals that create emotional safety. And emotional safety is a powerful trigger for attraction. Let us pause and consider. Avoid turning the conversation into an interview. You are not checking off boxes. You are connecting. Let the conversation drift. Follow the tangents. That is often where the real magic happens. Let us take a closer look. One of the best ways to flirt without being creepy is to share something small and personal. Vulnerability in moderation builds trust. For example, "I always get nervous in big groups, but this event has been better than I expected." That shows humanity without oversharing. Before we continue, remember this. Flirting is not about saying the perfect thing. It is about being real in a moment when both people feel safe enough to be curious. The more you try to be impressive, the less approachable you may seem. Think about that. Now, let us shift gears. Timing matters. Knowing when to exit a conversation gracefully is just as important as knowing how to enter. You want to leave the person feeling good about the interaction, not drained or trapped. Let us pause and consider. When you sense the energy winding down, say something like, "I have really enjoyed talking with you. I hope we can continue this another time." That leaves the door open without pressure. It shows confidence and consideration. Let us take a closer look. People remember how you made them feel, more than what you said. If you leave them feeling respected, energized, and understood, they are more likely to want to see you again. Before we continue, remember this. You do not need to win anyone over. You only need to show up as your best, most aware self. That is enough. Flirting is not a performance, it is a moment of shared presence. In the next part, we will explore how to build confidence naturally, identify common flirting mistakes, and create a style that fits your personality. Because sustainable attraction begins with authenticity. Let us now focus on something that often feels like a barrier: confidence. True confidence is not loud or flashy. It is quiet, grounded, and self-assured. It does not need to prove anything. It simply is. Think about that. Many people believe they need to become someone else in order to flirt effectively. They imagine a version of themselves that is cooler, funnier, or smoother. But the truth is, the most attractive energy comes from someone who is comfortable in their own skin. Let us pause and consider. Confidence is built through experience, but also through reflection. When you understand your strengths, your boundaries, and what kind of energy you want to attract, you become clearer in your approach. Clarity creates calm. Calm attracts connection. Let us take a closer look. If you are nervous when approaching someone, that is normal. Confidence does not mean the absence of nerves. It means being willing to show up anyway. Nerves show that you care. Just do not let them control your actions. Before we continue, remember this. Preparation helps confidence. That does not mean scripting everything. It means knowing who you are, what you enjoy, and what you can offer in a conversation. A few go-to topics or questions can ease your mind without sounding rehearsed. Think about that. People who flirt well tend to be emotionally attuned not just to others, but to themselves. They know when they are grounded, they know when they are off, and they take care of their energy before bringing it into an interaction. Let us pause and consider. Here is an example. Imagine you have had a stressful day. You are tired and frustrated. That is probably not the ideal moment to approach someone new. But if you take 10 minutes to reset, breathe, check in with yourself, shake off tension, you can shift into a more inviting energy. Let us take a closer look. Flirting that is driven by anxiety or a need for validation often backfires. It puts pressure on the other person to respond a certain way. But when you flirt from a place of generosity and curiosity, it feels lighter for both of you. Before we continue, remember this. Now let us talk about common flirting mistakes. One of the biggest is over-persistence. If someone is not reciprocating, if their body language, tone, or words suggest disinterest, backing off is the respectful and smart choice. You do not build attraction by pushing past boundaries. Think about that. Another mistake is over-personalizing rejection. If someone is not interested, it does not mean you are unworthy. It might mean they are distracted, unavailable, or simply not in the right space. Rejection is often about timing, not value. Let us pause and consider. A healthy mindset to adopt is this. You are offering your energy, not auditioning for approval. You are not trying to impress. You are trying to connect. That distinction changes everything. Let us take a closer look. Another mistake to avoid is oversharing. Vulnerability is powerful, but it must be paced. Telling someone your entire life story or emotional history too soon can feel overwhelming. Instead, offer little windows into who you are and let connection grow naturally. Before we continue, remember this. Keep your expectations open. Not every interaction needs to lead to a date, relationship, or even prolonged conversation. Sometimes a short, respectful moment of connection is enough. That counts too. Think about that. Creating your own flirting style is about leaning into what feels true to you. If you are quiet, your style may be gentle and observant. If you are animated, your style may be playful and expressive. There is no one right way to flirt. There is only your authentic way. Let us pause and consider. You can experiment and still be real. Try different ways of initiating. Play with tone. Reflect on what felt natural and what felt forced. Over time, you will build a toolkit that fits you. Let us take a closer look. Remember, the goal is not to become someone else. The goal is to reveal more of who you are confidently, kindly, and clearly. That is what real connection responds to. Before we continue, remember this. People may forget your words, but they will remember how you made them feel. If you leave them feeling safe, seen, and respected, you have already succeeded. In the final part, we will bring all of this together. We will walk through a few real-life scenarios, apply everything we have learned, and explore how to carry this new energy into your everyday interactions. Now it is time to bring everything we have discussed into real-world context. Let us walk through a few scenarios and apply the insights you have gained so far. Think about this. Scenario 1. You are at a bookstore and you notice someone browsing the same shelf. You catch their eye and smile. They smile back. You walk over, glance at the book in their hand, and say, "That one is a classic. Have you read anything else by that author?" You are not interrupting. You are inviting. If they respond warmly, the conversation flows. If they give a short answer and look away, you take the hint and move on gracefully. Let us take a closer look. Scenario 2. You are at a friend's party. You are introduced to someone new. You make a light comment about the music or the atmosphere. They laugh. You follow with a question about how they know the host. This opens a door. You keep things light, responsive, and aware of their comfort. If they ask you questions in return, lean into the exchange. If not, you keep it short and polite. Let us pause and consider. Scenario 3. Online interaction. You are messaging someone new. You start with a thoughtful comment on something from their profile, not their looks, but a shared interest. You say, "I saw that you are into documentaries. Any recent ones you would recommend?" You are showing curiosity, not performing. If the reply is enthusiastic, you continue. If the energy is lukewarm or one-sided, you take the signal and respectfully step back. Before we continue, remember this. Across all these examples, the themes remain the same. Authenticity, respect, presence, awareness. These are the foundations of connection. And when you lead with these values, flirting becomes less of a mystery and more of a skill you can grow. Think about that. Here is a powerful mindset shift. Flirting is not about getting something. It is about giving something a moment of warmth, attention, and possibility. Whether it becomes more or not is secondary. The real success is in how you show up. Let us take a closer look. When you flirt with respect and presence, people feel it. It stands out in a world of surface-level interactions. It creates a ripple effect. Even if the moment passes, you leave behind a positive imprint. That is what makes you memorable. Let us pause and consider. Sustainable flirting is rooted in your values. If you believe in kindness, lead with kindness. If you value honesty, be open in your intentions. Let who you are shape how you connect. That is what makes your style truly yours. Before we finish, remember this. Every interaction is practice. You will get it right sometimes. Other times, you will stumble. That is part of the process. What matters is your willingness to learn, grow, and stay grounded in self-respect. Think about that. Flirting is not a game you win or lose. It is a rhythm you learn. It is a dance of attention, energy, and care. You do not need to master it overnight. You just need to stay present, stay kind, and stay curious. Let us take a closer look. If you remember nothing else from this series, remember this. You are not trying to manipulate attraction. You are practicing the art of connection. And real connection is always mutual, always respectful, and always rooted in self-awareness. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with others. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep stacking that knowledge.